Chef Tse, and today I'm at the Lake Oswego Adult Community Center to make an unusual twist on a slider. We're going to go exotic and make some Moroccan-spiced turkey sliders, and I hope you'll follow along.
For today's recipe, you're going to need 2 teaspoons of chopped cilantro, a 1/4 cup non-fat Greek yogurt, 1 teaspoon fresh lemon juice, 2 teaspoons mustard, a little dash of hot sauce for fun, 1 pound of ground turkey, dark meat if they have it, 1/2 teaspoon of ground turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon paprika, 1/2 teaspoon ground cumin, 1 teaspoon grated onion, the zest of 1 medium lemon, 2 medium yellow or red peppers cut into large squares, 1 small white onion peeled and sliced, 1 tablespoon canola oil divided, 8 slider buns, and any additional salt and pepper you may need.
One of the things that I always recommend to people, especially home cooks when they start cooking, is called mise en place, and that stands for everything in its place. So get all your ingredients together before you start cooking, and it's going to make you 10 times faster in the kitchen. So to start off this recipe, we're going to start with our spread that we're going to put on the buns. So here I have a little bit of Greek yogurt, and to that I'm going to add some yellow mustard. You can use Dijon if you like. A little bit of lemon juice to give it a nice little hit of acidity, and fresh is best. Try to avoid the stuff that comes in the jar. Got a little bit of chopped cilantro, and if cilantro isn't your thing, try a little bit of parsley in there. Of course, a little bit of salt just to give it some flavor, and then if you're feeling wild, how about a couple drops of hot pepper sauce on there. So what I'm going to do is mix this together, and again, this is going to be our spread. And the reason I'm using Greek yogurt is because I'm trying to stay healthy this summer and avoid mayonnaise, and Greek yogurt is something that I happen to have in my fridge right now. So that'll be our spread, and that's ready to go.
In a medium bowl, mix together turkey, turmeric, salt, paprika, cumin, onion, and lemon zest.
All right, let's go ahead and mix away. Again, you can do this with a wooden spoon, but whenever you're working with any sort of ground meat, one of the things that I recommend is don't squish it together with your hands. Do it nice and slow and fold it in. The resulting patty will be a lot nicer to bite into than something that's all squished together. Another thing that I love about this recipe is the use of all those different spices. One of the things that contributes flavor without adding a lot of salt is adding spice and a little bit of that acidity from the lemon. So I actually cut down on my salt intake, yet these have really lovely, spectacular flavor. All right, now that that's all together, I'm just gonna grab a plate. And what we're going to do is form these into patties. So depending on how hungry you are, you can do size like this, or you can go a little bit smaller, and depending on how many guests you're going to serve. So I guess that's a little bit bigger than a walnut. And you're just going to kind of gently press them into a little puck like that. All right, so I'm going to kind of press them out like that, kind of seal those edges together. Put them on the plate and continue on. If for some reason you can't find ground turkey at the grocery store, another great option would be ground lamb. That would be spectacular. You can also use dark meat ground chicken, and of course hamburger would be fantastic too, and even pork could work in this recipe. I've also made it with the Beyond sausage, or the Impossible sausage, and that's another great vegetarian option for you fans out there. Now we get to the fun part. So I'm going to heat a medium skillet over medium heat. You don't need to go too high here. And so we're just going to take and add a little bit, about 2 teaspoons of oil to the pan. You don't want to put too much oil, because then you end up frying instead of searing. And once that's nice and warm, I'm just going to move it around in the pan. Make sure I get a thin, even coating over the entire bottom of the pan. And then in go my beautiful patties. go. And once they go into the pan, just let them, if they drop in like that, okay, just let them be where they land. And the important thing is you really don't want to crowd the pan, because if you crowd the pan with too much meat, what ends up happening is your meat ends up steaming rather than searing. We're just going to let these cook until they get nice and brown on one side, and then we're going to flip them over. After these have seared for about 2 minutes per side, let's go ahead and flip them over. Oh yeah, look at that beautiful color. This is one reason why you want to sear rather than steam, because that beautiful caramelization that's part of the meat coming in contact with the heat will add additional flavor, and I want these to be as flavorful as possible. So let's cook them another few minutes and we should be ready to serve. Look, these are perfectly cooked. If you want to make sure, one of the things I would do is get an instant read thermometer and test it in the thickest part of the meat. If you don't have an instant read thermometer, all you have to do is cut them in half and make sure that the juices run clear. So I'm going to take these out of the pan and put them aside. And you'll notice all this beautiful color that's on the bottom of the pan from the spices and the turkey. We don't want to throw that out. So I've got a little secret here. I'm going to add the remainder of the oil to the pan, probably just another teaspoon. And then I'm going to add the onions. And what this is going to do is the onions are kind of going to deglaze the pan and pick up all those really great flavors in here. And then we're going to add that to our recipe, and then these will just taste even better. Sometimes you'll need to scrape the bottom of the pan a little bit, but all that flavor will go directly into the onion and then directly into these amazing sliders. All right, those look about done, so I think it's time to assemble. I hope you're ready to eat, because it is definitely time to serve. I've got some really beautiful brioche-based sliders, but you can use any type of bread. Ciabatta would also be nice as well. So we're going to take some of this awesome spread that we made and give it a little zhuzh on there. That's a technical term, right? And then this sauce, by the way, if you have extras, will keep in the refrigerator up to 5 days in a sealed container. And I love it on other sandwiches as well, but it's also fantastic in wraps, and it makes a really great salad dressing. On top, we're going to put on those beautiful onions. Man, I wish you could smell this. And I wish you could taste it, but you're going to make it at home, right? And then I've got some beautiful red pepper. You could add lettuce, you could add tomato as well. And now, check this out. I've got a beautiful Moroccan-Spiced Turkey Slider. It's got an incredible amount of flavor in there because we put all those spices in there. But the nice thing is, it's not too heavy in salt. So I hope you make these at home. Bon appetit. Uh-huh.